Good morning, everyone. Today, we're diving into something that shapes every moment of your day, your routine. Whether it's a quick coffee or a full-blown morning ritual, your habits define your success. And joining me today is someone who's mastered the art of habit building, Kevin. Welcome, Kevin.
Thanks for having me, Coach. I've been looking forward to this conversation. Routines have truly been a game changer for me, and I'm excited to share what's worked, what hasn't, and maybe learn a thing or two from you.
Let's kick it off, Kevin. What's the very first thing you do when you wake up? No sugarcoating, give us the real deal.
Laughs all right, no snooze button here. I'm past that phase. I start my day with a gratitude journal. I jot down 3 things I'm thankful for. It's a simple habit, but it shifts my mindset and sets a positive tone for the day. Honestly, it's like my morning fuel. Ugh.
I love that. Gratitude really is a game changer. It's like training your brain to focus on the good. For me, I kick things off with a big glass of water and a 10-minute stretch. It wakes up my body and clears my mind. Honestly, it feels like hitting the reset button. What about you, listeners? What's your first move in the morning? Let us know in the comments. Kevin, how long did it take you to figure out that journaling works for you? Was it trial and error, or did you know right away it'd make a difference?
It was definitely trial and error. I tried a bunch of things, meditation, affirmations, even reading motivational quotes, but journaling stuck. It's quick, personal, and keeps me grounded. Plus, looking back at old entries is a reminder of how far I've come.
That's so true. There's something powerful about tracking your growth. For me, I used to overcomplicate my mornings. I'd try to cram in too much, but simplifying it to just water, stretching, and mindfulness was a game changer. Have you ever had to simplify your routine?
Absolutely. I used to think more was better. Wake up early, read, exercise, meditate, plan the day. It was overwhelming. Now I stick to 3 key things: gratitude, hydration, and light movement. Simpler is better, and it's way more sustainable.
Exactly. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing what works for you. Consistency is what counts. So, listeners, what's one habit you've stuck to that makes your mornings better? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear your tips. Morning routines, foundation of the day. Kevin, do you find that starting your day with intention carries over to the rest of your day? For me, it feels like the morning is the foundation of everything.
Absolutely, Coach. It's like setting the tone for the orchestra. If the conductor messes up at the start, the whole performance is off. My routine is my way of saying, all right, let's take control of the day.
That's a great analogy. I love how you compare it to an orchestra. I feel the same. If my morning's off, it's like I'm trying to run a marathon with my shoelaces untied. Let me ask you this. How long did it take you to figure out the morning routine that works best for you?
Oh, it took years, honestly. I tried so many different things. I'd read articles about successful people and think, okay, I'll start waking up at 5 a.m. and meditating for an hour. Spoiler alert, it didn't last long.
Laughs, I've been there. You see all these articles saying, successful people wake up at 4 a.m. and you think you're slacking if you're not doing the same. But it's not just about waking up early, is it?
Exactly. It's about finding what works for you. I realized I'm more of a 6:30 a.m. guy, and that's fine. Once I embraced that, I started focusing on what I do after I wake up, not the time on the clock.
That's such an important point. Routines are personal. They should fit your lifestyle, not some one-size-fits-all formula. My morning is all about movement and mindfulness. A quick workout and 5 minutes of breathing exercises set the tone for me.
That's a solid combo. For me, it's journaling and drinking a big glass of water first thing. I read somewhere that dehydration can make you feel sluggish, so I make it a priority. Plus, journaling clears my head.
Hydration is underrated. It's amazing how something so simple can have such a big impact. Speaking of journaling, do you ever look back at what you've written and notice patterns in your thoughts or habits?
All the time. It's like having a conversation with my past self. I'll read an entry from a few months ago and think, wow, I've come a long way. It also helps me spot what's working and what's not in my routine.
That's powerful. Reflecting is such a key part of growth. For me, I use my journal to jot down one goal for the day. It keeps me focused and gives me a sense of accomplishment when I check it off.
I like that. Simple but effective. I also find that reviewing my goals in the morning helps me avoid getting overwhelmed. If I start the day with clarity, I'm way less likely to get distracted.
Clarity is everything. It's like driving with a clear windshield. You see where you're going and avoid unnecessary detours. Have you ever tried adding affirmations to your routine?
I have, actually. At first it felt cheesy, but over time, I realized how much it boosted my confidence. Saying things like, "I'm capable of handling whatever comes my way today," really sets a positive tone.
Absolutely. Affirmations can feel awkward at first, but they work. The brain responds to repetition, and affirmations are like planting seeds of positivity. Speaking of positivity, how do you handle mornings when things don't go as planned?
Good question. I've learned to be flexible. If something throws me off, I focus on just one thing, like my journaling or a quick walk. I remind myself that a bad morning doesn't have to turn into a bad day.
Such a great mindset, Kevin. Flexibility is key. And to everyone listening, remember, your routine doesn't have to be perfect. Just aim for progress. So, what's the one thing you can't skip in your morning? Share it in the comments. We'd love to hear. Beating the midday slump. Alright, Kevin, let's dive into something we all deal with. The dreaded midday slump. You know, that post-lunch crash, when your energy just nosedives. How do you handle it? It's a universal struggle, and I bet our listeners are nodding along right now.
Ah, the slump. It's like clockwork for so many people, right? For me, the game changer has been taking a quick walk right after lunch. No phone, no emails, just me and fresh air. It clears my head and gives me a boost. I think of it as hitting the reset button for my brain. It's surprising how something so simple can make such a difference.
That's a great strategy. Walking really does wonders for recharging. I like to switch gears completely. I'll step away from my desk and do a 10-minute bodyweight workout. Push-ups, squats, you name it. It gets my blood flowing and wakes me up. Sometimes I even throw on some upbeat music to make it more fun. Have you ever paired your walks with music or podcasts?
Love that. Movement is key. I've tried walking with music, but honestly, I prefer the silence. It's my way of unplugging. You know what else helps? A light lunch. I used to eat heavy meals and they'd knock me out. Now I stick to salads or something protein-packed, and I feel so much better afterward. Have you ever had to tweak your lunch to avoid the crash? What's your go-to meal?
Definitely. I learned the hard way that carb-heavy lunches are a recipe for a nap. Now it's all about balance. Protein, veggies, and healthy fats. My go-to is grilled chicken, quinoa, and some roasted veggies. Plus, I try to hydrate throughout the day. Sometimes that slump is just dehydration sneaking up on you. Do you have any hydration tricks?
Exactly. People underestimate how much water affects their energy. I keep a water bottle on my desk and make sure to drink a full glass before and after lunch. I've also started adding a slice of lemon or cucumber to make it more refreshing. Speaking of tweaks, have you tried power naps? They're a game changer for me.
Ah, the power nap. I was skeptical at first, but now I swear by them. 15 minutes max though. Any longer and I feel groggy. I call it a strategic recharge. Have you had success with napping? Or do you have a specific nap routine?
Yeah, but I set a timer. Without it, I risk waking up an hour later feeling worse than before. A quick nap combined with a cup of green tea afterward, it's like hitting the reset button. It's all about timing, though. Too late in the afternoon and it messes with my sleep at night.
That's a solid combo. I've heard caffeine takes about 20 minutes to kick in. So drinking tea or coffee before a nap can be super effective. It's like a double boost when you wake up. Viewers, do any of you nap during the day? Share your experiences in the comments. I'm curious to see how you all handle the slump.
And let's hear your thoughts on post-lunch snacks too. I've found that a handful of almonds or some Greek yogurt helps me stay energized without feeling weighed down. Coach, do you have a go-to snack for midday fuel?
Great point, Kevin. I'm all about fruit and nuts. Something light but satisfying. Sometimes I mix it up with a protein bar if I know I have a packed afternoon. The key is finding something that fuels you without dragging you down. So, listeners, what's your secret weapon for beating the slump? Let's get a conversation going in the comments. Interactive break. True or false? Time for a quick game. I'll say a habit, and you guess if it's part of my routine. True or false? Ready, Kevin?
Bring it on!
First one. I drink green juice every morning.
True. You seem like a green juice kind of guy.
Laughs. Nope. False. I'm more of a smoothie guy. Next, I check emails before breakfast.
False. You'd never start your day that way.
Correct. Last one. I meditate every morning for 5 minutes.
True, that sounds like you.
Spot on. Listeners, how'd you do? Share your guesses in the comments. Evening, wind down. All right, Kevin, we've covered mornings and midday slumps. But let's talk about how you wind down at the end of the day. What's your go-to evening routine?
My evenings are all about disconnecting, Coach. I have a strict no screens rule at least an hour before bed. Instead, I read a book or journal. It helps me transition from the chaos of the day to a calmer mindset. How about you?
That's a solid strategy. For me, it's about reflection. I spend a few minutes reviewing my day, what went well, what didn't, and what I can improve. It helps me clear my mind and set a positive tone for the next day.
That's great. I've found that ending the day with reflection helps me sleep better too. If I go to bed with unresolved thoughts swirling in my head, I'm tossing and turning all night. Do you ever meditate before bed?
Sometimes, yes. Even just 5 minutes of deep breathing can do wonders. It's like hitting the reset button on your mind. What about you? Do you have any specific nighttime habits that help you sleep better?
Definitely. I've started doing some light stretching before bed. It releases tension from sitting at a desk all day and helps me feel more relaxed. Plus, I keep my bedroom cool and dark. It makes such a difference.
That's a great tip. Sleep experts say a cool, dark room is ideal for quality sleep. I also avoid heavy meals or caffeine late in the day. Learned that lesson the hard way after a late-night pizza binge once.
Laughs. Oh, I've been there. A heavy meal too close to bedtime is the worst. Now I stick to something light, like a yogurt or a handful of almonds if I'm hungry. What about winding down mentally? Do you ever write down your goals for the next day?
Every night, I jot down 3 key tasks I want to tackle the next day. It helps me wake up with a clear purpose. Plus, it feels great to check them off one by one. Do you do something similar?
Yeah, I like to plan out my day in my journal. I break it into chunks, morning, afternoon, and evening, so I know exactly where my focus needs to be. It's a little time investment, but it pays off big the next day.
That's a smart approach. I've also heard people use affirmations before bed to reinforce a positive mindset. Have you tried that?
I have. Something as simple as saying, tomorrow will be a productive and positive day, can make a huge difference. It's like programming your brain while you sleep.
Creating an evening environment. Let's talk about the environment for a second. What's your evening setup like? Any must-haves in your wind-down zone?
Definitely. I keep a lavender diffuser by my bed. The scent is super calming. I also have a dim bedside lamp to avoid harsh lighting. It's all about creating a cozy, peaceful vibe.
Love that. I'm all about soundscapes. I'll play soft nature sounds, rainfall or ocean waves, and it instantly relaxes me. Have you tried soundscapes?
Yes, rain sounds are my go-to. It's like nature's lullaby. Sometimes I even use a weighted blanket. It helps me feel secure and fall asleep faster.
Weighted blankets are game changers. I've heard they can reduce stress and improve sleep quality. Alright, listeners, what's your must-have for a perfect evening wind down? Share your secrets in the comments, we're always looking for new ideas. Teaser for next episode, the role of luck. Daily routines are key, but what about luck? Is it random, or can we influence it? In our next episode, we'll explore how to create your own luck. You won't want to miss it.
Sounds fascinating. I'll definitely tune in for that.
Thanks, Kevin, and thank you all for listening. Remember, routines shape your life, make them count. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.
Take care, everyone.